Thank you very much. Peter, you got a new look, too. What do you like, the Ancient Mariner now? Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I see Ryan has a beautiful, intelligent young lady in tow that we met earlier today. This continues our efforts, another good announcement pertaining to the refresh and redefining of downtown Springfield as we're moving forward. This, again, is a combination that has worked very successful in with private development and leveraging city monies moving forward. Of course, I'm joined by my Chief Development Officer, Kevin Kennedy, DPW Director, Chris Cignoli, fresh from DC. I dispatched Chris and Josh Schimmel on the Infrastructure Summit, and Alex Dixon, who is the new MGM face. Congratulations. We appreciate you having you here. This refresh, we announced a couple of weeks ago the public safety component that we're going to be doing with downtown Springfield and also enhancing our neighborhood public safety aspects. Now comes the aesthetic quality type attributes. We're going to be putting forward infrastructure all the way from Union Station to Central Street, two exciting projects, multi-million-dollar projects, nearly $1 billion project with Union Station. Again, we're very thankful to the stick-to-itiveness of Congressman Neal on that project, and MGM for their belief and investment here in the city of Springfield. You're going to see about a $7 million project. I think about $6.9 million. Of that, the city, we're putting in about $1.4 million. MGM is footing the rest of the bill. And Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Dixon and Mr. Cignoli will get more specifics on the infrastructure improvements that are going to be occurring to the roadway, walkway areas, the aesthetic quality. What I am looking to continue to do, you're going to have thousands and thousands of people matriculating in downtown Springfield from Union Station, MGM, the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Dr. Seuss Museum. We're going to harness that. So not only the vehicular traffic, but probably more importantly, the pedestrian traffic from Union Station all the way down to our South End area, that we're going to make it clean and safe, aesthetically pleasing, and we want people, we have a very walkable downtown, to move about. And that is going to continue to enhance businesses of the area or new businesses coming in. If you have a good product and you run a good business, you're going to be able to capture that market. But it's important. This is the meat and potatoes stuff. It might not be sexy, but we want to make sure that the traffic flow, the pedestrian flow, the aesthetic quality that occurs here, and also some of the underpasses. This is now another exciting infrastructure project that we're going to do. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Cignoli and Mr. Dixon. They can get into the more exacts, but this has been very methodical, and our timing process as we build up to Union Station actually will be opening up next weekend, and MGM is right around the corner. So with that, I'll turn it over to Chief Development Officer Kevin Kennedy.
Thank you, Mayor. I think he hit the real highlights, and that's leveraging the investments that are being made, and the investments are substantial. We've enumerated them previously. But the clean and the safe part of it that the Mayor mentioned is also critical, and I would add to that hospitality and polishing our downtown. Again, we're going to be welcoming thousands and thousands of people on a regular basis. And not only do we have to have it look safe and clean and bright and polished, we also have to have a very hospitable and welcoming type of a downtown. It's critical that we do this, and for the simple way to put it, it makes common sense. And a lot of, I think, what you've seen that we've tried to do over the last 5 or 6 years strategically makes sense, and it's common sense. So that's what we tried to do here. Again, MGM was obligated under not only the host community agreement, but the Section 61 findings that were part of their agreement with the mass gaming. And that money that they had to invest, when we talked to the mayor about it, it made sense to take some of those spots in the downtown that are lacking polish, for lacking some other way to put it, But we had to make sure that when somebody, a visitor from out of town, comes to downtown, and there will be thousands, it has to look good, and it has to be hospitable, it has to be clean, and it has to be bright. I mean, it's really that simple. So with that, I'm going to turn the detail of it over to Chris and to Phil Dromey, who have done a lot of work on it. But before I do that, part of the things that you're going to see here, you'll see that there is a wayfinding system that we are proposing for the downtown. And that wayfinding system, right now, you're going to see it in a graph form, but it's actually draft, and we'll be doing another public meeting where we release all the detail of that, so we can get some feedback not only from the general public, but from the institutions as to what we're doing. And remember, we have contracted with, the name of the company was? Applied Wayfinding, who have done places like London and Vancouver and other major cities all around the world. So I think that's another exciting part of being able to get around in a walkable downtown. So,
Mr. Cignoli?
Thank you. Way back, 3-4 years ago, when we were working with MGM on the early phases of their environmental impact report, traffic studies, et cetera, the off-site improvements were really developed at that point. And as construction has progressed, one of the things that we've been real happy about is coordination between us, the city of Springfield, and MGM and their consultants has gone very, very well with minimal off-site disruption in order to get the facility built. We're now entering kind of the final year of everything, and we know we've been coordinating with MGM that all of the off-site work was going to be starting. It has actually, the first step of it has started down at the intersection of West Street, Plainfield, and Avocado in the north end, and is going to be moving in through the city. And for those of you who have looked at the environmental impact, we are doing major work on Main Street, State Street, and those areas. And as Kevin and the mayor mentioned, it made absolute sense for the city of Springfield to kind of jump on and pick up where they were leaving off to be able to get the downtown into its best looking that we can for this facility and moving forward. A lot of utility work has happened with our utility partners to be able to upgrade downtown. One of the things we told everybody day one is we don't want to open a casino door and then have to replace a sewer main, and then have to replace a gas main, upgrade electric. So everybody has been really focused on getting all of these things taken care of. So what we really did is we focused on what MGM was doing and what we could enhance. So we're going to be doing things such as extending paving on Main Street around the casino, the four corners, or the block as we call it. MGM is taking care of that. We're extending out on Main Street. As part of the work that MGM has to do, they're going to be doing new parking layouts, bike lanes, new striping. So it makes a lot of sense for us to upgrade our roadways that have taken a beating from the utility standpoint. Repairing sidewalks, tree wells, improving the crosswalks. Some of the crosswalks, obviously, downtown look a little tired. They will all be repaired. Modernizing trash receptacles to be able to get them taken care of in an easier fashion. Landscaping, city trees, upgrading those as well. Wayfinding, and obviously the police substation and the kiosks that we're doing. From a more specific standpoint, Main Street, basically from Central Street to the north end of the arch, is going to get redone. The area immediately around the casino is going to be MGM. We will be taking the outsides of that and getting that all taken care of. MGM being about a year away. Most of this work that we're going to talk about today is probably going to occur next spring, March, April, May, just in advance of the opening of the casino. We're in the process of designing our pieces now and in the process of coordinating contractors with MGM, in some cases using the same contractors to make things work great. We will be doing Taylor Street, Lyman, Caner, and hopefully when we pop in next year, we did a section of Worthington to do Worthington as well in coordination with the work that's going to be happening at Stern Square. All of the crosswalks in those areas that we're talking about are all going to be redone. We did them 7-8 years ago. They start to look a little tired, so we're going to be completely redoing them as well. And on Cross Street, we're going to be upgrading all of the landscape up and down the corridor, fixing the trees, the tree wells, some of the trees that hadn't made it over the years or had been damaged, going to be removed. New trees are going in. I mentioned the pedestrian crosswalks. Everything is going to be upgraded. In certain areas around the downtown area, MGM's work is either upgrading or completely replacing traffic signals due to the traffic requirements. So we're coordinating with them on the installation and how that work is going to get done. We mentioned the police substation and kiosk. Obviously, the announcement a couple weeks ago with the kiosk location, substations, 2 locations, Taylor in Maine, Morris in Maine. All the work that needs to be done for those facilities as far as utilities, whether we're talking electric, telephone, fiber, is also being coordinated at this point. And what we really focused on is we don't want to build something and come in 2 weeks later and tear something up to do it. So when we were talking about the wayfinding, we want to get that taken care of. We want to get everything taken care of for the police kiosks as well. The underpasses, Chestnut Street, Dwight Street, Main Street, get those cleaned up, and just make them a little bit more presentable. Mass DOT actually owns the bridges, so we have to work with them on getting some protection up there. And it's kind of an extension of the Union Station project that we've been working on all the way along. And I mentioned the modernized trash receptacles for the area. Right now, there's basically some, metal containers that are down there that we go down during the week and somebody has to lug them out. We want to make them a little bit more automated from a pickup standpoint, have some dual recycling and trash receptacles down there, and something that's going to last a little better, easily maintained as far as being able to get the trash in and out of downtown in the immediate areas. We're probably talking between 24 and 30 of these in the areas that we're talking about. We're kind of talking about putting one on each kitty corner of every intersection downtown so that there's places to put trash and be able to get rid of them real quick. And lastly, from the city's perspective, the wayfinding system, as Kevin mentioned it, it actually kind of started when we were working with MGM because we did want to initiate a wayfinding system, and as part of their project, there is a wayfinding setup, and we kind of piggybacked on top of that for a lot of different reasons to make it a little bit more global in downtown. So we're looking at 50-plus locations downtown where we're going to be putting in wayfinding systems that is not just an arrow that says MGM facility here. We are talking about, the Seuss Museum, the Quadrangle, City Hall, Mass Mutual Center, restaurants, hotels, so that people who are visiting the area know where to go, talking about destination, times, biking, walking through downtown. All of the roadway improvements are not just roadway improvements. They are full bike lanes are being put in. We're upgrading, as I mentioned, all the pedestrian crossings downtown. So we're really talking about hitting all phases of transportation in the area. And from MGM's perspective, their project, as I mentioned, extends way out beyond the 4 corners. And we've been working with them in that regard from day one. The work is starting now with their traffic signal work. And as you can see on the map, there is a lot of traffic signal work that's happening throughout downtown as part of the work that MGM is doing. In Main Street, State, Union, East Columbus, West Plain, Avocado, State, Federal, Oak, the Memorial Bridge. So it, as Kevin and the mayor mentioned right at the beginning, it made sense for the city to jump on this, to be able to, when the doors open for this facility, that we have a comprehensive plan for downtown. Everything is ready to go, easily maintainable. Utilities will be completely upgraded. We've looked at pedestrian circulation. We've looked at vehicular circulation for the MGM Casino and all of the other events that are happening in downtown. Excuse me, so that we can get people in and out as safely, quickly, and easily as possible. Some people have asked me about traffic. Geez, there's going to be a lot of traffic in downtown. And my response is, I hope so. We want everything downtown to be as successful as possible in downtown. And I think this plan, through Kevin's help, and especially the mayor and MGM, has really been a great help to the city.
Thank you, Mr. Cignoli. We'll turn it over to Mr. Dixon now on the MGM perspective. And again, a great working partnership on this. And Congratulations again and welcome aboard.
Great, thank you. Again, my name is Alex Dixon. I humbly serve as the General Manager for MGM Springfield. And I'm pleased to be joined here by Mayor Sarno, Kevin Kennedy, and Chris Cignoli, and other officials today to once again say that MGM is on track for a successful and exciting opening. And as we move forward, we are working hard to make sure that every aspect of the communities and our guests' experiences will be top-notch. It's a particular pleasure for me to be here today, really as the inaugural general manager for this game-changing downtown resort. In just a few short months, I've come to know and really like the city. And the people here are as genuine as they come, and I'm excited for my family who just arrived last night to really kind of get a good flavor of all the things that the city has to offer. At MGM, we continue to stand with the city and its residents in our shared vision for a revived downtown and a stronger Springfield. I'm here representing Mike Mathis, who's the president of MGM Springfield, and it's our team's pleasure to work with Kevin, Chris, and the mayor and the other members of the team to talk through the improvements that we're making along the way. As the mayor noted, we've invested $5.5 million in this initiative, and together with our city partners, we will make sure that the work is done in a timely and efficient manner. These necessary traffic flow upgrades will be worthy and a short-term pain, but in the long term, we think we'll be rewarded with the economic development benefits a more successful and welcoming downtown will achieve. You will see refreshed signage, signal upgrades, curb enhancements, improved handicap access along the many routes to MGM Springfield. I promise you that MGM Springfield will be vigilant about informing the Springfield DPW and the community at large about when and where the work will occur. We appreciate your patience in advance and look forward to the benefits to come. So I appreciate being here. I appreciate Chris, the mayor, and Kevin with the inclusiveness to make sure that we're moving our city forward on one accord. Thank you.
It's part of the billion-dollar investment. It was part of the original HCA agreement and part of the Section 61 findings that came about by the state approvals. So it's included in that whole investment.
Great. And our 1.4 again is to the gateway entry areas, which would be the North Block and the South End area, Riverfront, and State Street areas. So we're doing our part in working hand in hand with MGM.
And one thing that we're sensitive to, remember, downtown is a neighborhood. There are many residents of downtown, stalwarts of urban living, I might also point out. So it's not just doing something for the downtown, it's something that we actually have to do. We also had a meeting earlier today with CRRC and others in the room, and we were mapping out the strategy to put Wi-Fi in Marshall Roy Park, bring it to our new facility at 50 East Street, and then bring it down to the safety complex. So we're not ignoring the rest of the city, I think is my point.
Basically, from the city perspective, Peter, the yellow line work that we're showing, Main Street, Kaner Street, Lyman Street, Taylor, Cross, everything here is going to get redone as far as paving.
Lyman, Taylor, Kaner, just in case.
And Cross is right across from the facility. Along Main Street, the sidewalks in general are in pretty good condition. However, in the non kind of casino block area, are in pretty good condition, and we're going to be doing spot repairs on those as we move forward. Most of everything in the block of the facility is getting completely redone. That work is really not even included in this money. It's more of that's kind of a site work standpoint. So we, as part of the Main Street work, there's a much bigger work that's being done, but we are redoing all of the crosswalks, all of the traffic signals, from a timing and even from some new signal standpoint. The major coordination on the traffic signal, a lot of those green dots that you saw there are also traffic signals that are under control of the state right now as part of the viaduct project. So we're really having to do a lot of coordination with them on, we don't want to put in a new signal that the state's going to have control over, or the state has control over now, because the timing is completely different for the casino versus what it is for the viaduct. So we're trying to make sure we get that all coordinated. Because as you all know, a lot of the ramps in downtown now are closed, where as part of the design and review of the casino, those ramps are open. So the timing and the traffic flow on East and West Columbus Avenue and the main streets will be very, very different.
It has to be synchronized.
Well before. Their actual schedule is to have full and beneficial use right now, I believe March, April of next year. Their contractor wants to advance that, obviously, to get his bonus. And because of the winter, that means that he would probably be finishing up later this year. They are well ahead of schedule on that work down there on the viaduct right now. So when we talked about our work occurring next spring, we'll be able to get the turnover of the ramps would then be open. We would have the turnover of the utilities over to us and to MGM, or excuse me, the traffic signals, so we'd be able to get that coordination completed.
We want to synchronize everything, and MGM obviously has a plan to continue to build momentum on strategic announcements and as they move toward with the grand opening. I just released it, so you should just be receiving it. Working with MGM also, riverfront development is occurring too, and the enhancement of our park areas. Working with Kevin Kennedy and others, the 911 memorial will be going down there. You're going to see a standalone spray park. You're going to see Anniversary Field being redone. You're going to see the aesthetic quality of shrubs and trees, and so we're going to enhance that area. You're going to have, from Hall of Fame area, the depot that we'll be taking over will now become another police public safety complex down there. So not only the thousands of people pedestrian matriculating, but you're going to have hundreds of thousands of vehicles going up and down 91. They're going to see that blue. So the first phase, $1 million that came in the agreement we made with MGM of the riverfront enhancement is starting to occur, and that piggybacks with the Basketball Hall of Fame, which is going to be starting investment of $25 to $30 million in reinvigorating, redoing all the Hall of Fame exhibits and areas there. So these are, as Kevin pointed out, the dominoes start to fall into place. And maybe there was 4 or 5 years ago when they would question, what the hell is Sarno and Kennedy, or Kennedy and Sarno doing? Now people are starting to see the dynamic that's starting to occur. Little things mean a lot to me. So people might not think this is sexy on the refresh, but you want your roadways to look good. You want your sidewalks to look sharp. You want it to be clean. You want the aesthetic quality of flowers and trees. You want the accessibility of wayfinding. 2 minutes to get here, walking, a minute via the bike. You want people, as Kevin indicated, when you go away, or you want to spend some off times when you're vacationing or going away, you want to make sure you go to some place where the experience is good. And I know we're going to have to spend hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars marketing and with advertising and investment. But you know what still counts? Word of mouth. And if people say, geez, I came to Springfield and I had a great time. I had no problem. It was clean. It was safe. I went to MGM. I went to the Dr. Seuss Museum. I went to the Basketball Hall of Fame. I took Six Flags. I went up to the Berkshires. Matter of fact, I started walking around, exploring Springfield. And I understand South, they got an Italian quarter down there. There's a North Block quarter down there. They got some great little restaurants or bistros or stores down there. That's what we're putting together here. So the public safety plan was announced a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Now here's the infrastructure and aesthetic quality plan being introduced. MGM, they're world renowned. So don't worry about them as their timing process for major announcements and building momentum moving forward.
The wayfinding system is going to be fascinating experience. What the plan with that is, you see a map up there. We're going to release the detail of that, and then there's going to be a briefing with the TDI district meeting in 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
It's yet to be determined.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll put more and more detail out, and then we need to get feedback. Again, it's a great situation now. All of a sudden, we do have places for people to go to walk to experience things. So now we just got to tell them how to get there. Some of the things that Scott can give you more of the detail, but those signs that you saw up there, when you look at them from one side of the sign, it will tell you what is in that direction. That same sign on the other side of it will tell you what's in the other direction. So I mean, these people that were our consultants, they've done a very, very good job. So that's going to be a very fascinating thing to implement in the downtown.
You gotta remember too, that coming online is the creation of the restaurant district downtown also. Right around the corner block from that is the innovation district, which is moving forward quite nicely too. So I've told, and Kevin can tell you, every week, we're always being contacted by developers or businesses looking to come to the city of Springfield. And we never lose sight of the businesses that are here have contacted us about excitement. They want to expand on it. So what I'm telling the businesses that are here and new ones looking to come to the city of Springfield, you want numbers. You're going to have numbers now. And if you run a good business, you offer a good quality product, you can harness those numbers. They can walk right through your doorway, drive right through your doorway. Every businessman and businesswoman deserves to make a dollar. So, moving forward, things are starting to fall into place, and I'm very proud of everybody that's involved on the public sector and on the private sector moving forward. So it's an exciting time here in the city of Springfield, and the red carpet's rolled out, the water's warm, or cool if it's too hot out, so everybody into the pool.
We're 14 months from opening, right, Alex?
Yeah.
Right. There we
That's
go.
right.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, mimosas for everybody.
Hey.
Thank you.